Sometimes we may need to look up information on multiple tables. Here we have two different tables, one if they have less than 3 years tenure and one if they have 3 or more years tenure. Here we have the years and the sales amounts. We want to look up their commissions. So we say, how can we do that? Well, of course you can use an if statement, if less than 3 years, then, and do a VLOOKUP for those less than 3 years, else, and do a lookup for those greater than 3 years. Or we can even combine those and make it more compact by saying and putting it right in the VLOOKUP statement. So here equals VLOOKUP, and the lookup value is the sales amount, comma, the table array. That's when we need to decide which table to use. So I'll say if the logical test B3 is less than 3, then I want to use this first table. So I'll put this first table in and make it absolute. Else, comma, I'll use the other table and I want to make it absolute. And then which column do I want? Both of them I want the same. And can it be approximate? Yes, definitely. So we say Benson is less than 2 years, 120. I come down here, back up, and 7%. That's exactly right. Looking at Hernandez, 310. So down here I go hit 500, back up to 3, and it's 925. That's exactly what we have there. Lots of different ways we can configure things. We need to get our mind wrapped around that we don't need to be just in one way, but we can be creative in how we use these different formulas. Let's now go to the GPA tab. Here you need to put in the GPA grade value for each of these grades. So go ahead and do that. Of course, VLOOKUP is what we'll probably use. Okay, so VLOOKUP, and it's based on the grade, the table, absolute, and the offset is 2. Can it be approximate? No. These have to be exact. So we have then the grade for a C is a 2, the grade for a B is a 3, the grade for an A is a 4. Notice the formula down here says then, give me the sum of all these weighted values and then divide it by the credit hours. And we get a 3.19 GPA for this semester. This is a fun example down below. Look through it and see if you can understand it. Okay, let's look through it together. We're matching each item in grade. As you can see, this is an array formula. So each item with the different values. In the first one, if it's a C, then it would go 1, 2, 3, and return the value of 3. But a C only has a value of 2, so as we're done with each, we minus 1 from it to get 2. A would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 1 would give us 4. So after we've matched each grade with a value, we multiply it by the credit hours and then sum it up. After we've summed it up, we also sum up the credit hours total and divide by that. That gives us exactly the same thing. Could this work with our grading system where we have A, A minus, B plus, B? That's right, it would be very difficult to make this work. Why? These are equal values apart, but we go from B up 0.4 to B plus, another 0.3 to A minus, and then another 0.3 to A. So it isn't an even interval and would be very difficult to have it work in a similar function.